Hi, everyone. I am really excited to introduce Tonya Painter, a member of our community who has had some bad experiences with some WordPress development that was done for her. And so I thought I'd just, on the spur of the moment, do a live going through the website and doing a wee bit of an audit. So I'm Sharon Henderson from the KEM WordPress community Facebook group for anyone who's streaming from outside that. So we're just going to get started, and I'm going to share my screen so that we can have a look at the website. So let's give that a go now. Let's have a look. Screen share. All right, so I want this one here, and I'm just going to add it to the stream. Okay, we have a few different things showing, so let me just move a few things down out of the way. Let's have a look. Cool, that's a little better. So this is the website, and it's a super cool website because what Tonya actually does is stocks products that really are natural and have all natural ingredients, which I think is novel because you go to all these sites that claim to be stocking natural products like iHerb and heaps others that we have here in New Zealand. And then when you actually go and look at these products, they actually have hidden nasties in them. So it's refreshing to find a site that actually stocks stuff that is truly natural. So that's super cool. But what we're doing today is analysing the site to see what sort of job has actually been done with the development and the setup of it. So is it WordPress, Tonya? It is, hey? Is that right? It is WordPress. Okay, because I'm not going through to the back end because I'm not going to mess around with anything there. We're just going to have a look at how it performs. So if it's cached, so it may not demonstrate for you how slowly it loads, but I've just gone Control or Command R, which is to refresh the cache and reload it. Now you saw there it was quite slow to load, and the first time I did it there would have been no browser cache, so it was loading for the very first time and everything would have loaded for the very first time, and it was a lot slower than that. In terms of the presentation of the site, I'll be perfectly honest with you, it looks like every other Shopify store. What we need to do with your site is infuse your brand into it so it lives and breathes that brand. And I'm not feeling that at the moment. There's no, where's your logo? Is Natural Society your logo?
For the moment, yeah.
Okay. So the right way to build a site where you want to just distinguish yourself from every other drop shipping store out there is to create and build a brand. And that's something that comes before the website generally. So while you might have it here for functionality, for actually growing the brand and having that feel of the brand, that is what's going to convert your visitors into customers, paying customers, and what's going to set you aside from every other website stocking this stuff is your brand, what you do, what makes you different. And at the moment we're not seeing that. I'm just thinking of an example. I could show you, and it's a completely different scenario, but I can show you my store. I've only soft launched it. I haven't spent any time marketing it yet because I haven't had a chance, but just to try to give you an idea of how I've tried to infuse a brand. So I'll just have a go. Hopefully it's all working. It hasn't had a lot of love for a while, but just for demonstration purposes, let's have a look. Okay, so it's quite slow. I'm not sure if it's my internet. Last time I tested it, it was super fast, but you wouldn't think so. That was quite slow to load. Okay, so I'm not saying it's fantastic and perfect because it's still got work that's needed, but you get the feel from the outset, I hope, that it's New Zealand. you know, I've got the New Zealand panga in there. Just the logo and everything is more cohesive. And I hope it doesn't look like every other drop shipping store. It has got a little difference to it.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I still have work to do on it, but I'm just trying to give you that idea that there is a linkage or a cohesion between logo, branding, what it's about. That should all jump out at you right away.
Okay.
So we'll just go back to your one. So yeah, I think you need to have a think about what you want your logo to be and infuse into it something that really gives that message right from the start.
Okay.
You think it's healthy, but is it really? You know, just something that's going to deliver that message. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was working on it ages ago because I actually did a diploma in graphic design years ago, but I was so busy with university, I just left it as is.
No, I hear
So
you.
work on it, definitely.
Yeah, I hear you completely. And that's something you can work on. Let's have a look. So natural society, okay. You've checked that doesn't conflict with any other companies or anything?
No, it's fully registered. Everything's locked down, contracted, checked.
Is it is it trademarked?
Yes, it is trademarked.
Oh wow, well done. That's awesome. So you should have your TM there.
Yes. Oh, good point. Good point.
I'll be putting a TM there. Okay. What else? So that aside, I mean, I think it looks really nice. I like your colors here. I like that you've got that semi-transparency going on. That's quite nice, and that has a feel of it. You know, to me, that works with the brand more, if that makes sense.
Okay.
The way you've done that, I like that. But this is too generic. Sure,
right.
Have a sale there, absolutely, but just something else to just, rather than, because actually is just a bunch of products, it needs to be delivering some sort of message.
Okay.
It might be a slider, it might be something, you know, that just says with a few slides what you're about.
I had slides there previously, but yeah, I had promos, but they'd been up too long and it was getting stale, so I had to take them down. But in the back end, I've got a slider. I need to create some more.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I mean, the management of a site, it's time consuming, hey? And that's why mine hasn't been given the love that it really needs to move it forwards as well. But yeah, liking this.
Okay, great.
I like that. That's lovely. I just like the design of that. But somehow we just somehow need to infuse more of a message about what you're really about. Natural. You've got your blog, which is brilliant for SEO. That's all awesome. But I mean, I'm talking here from a design perspective. We do need to look at the performance as well. You see, this, to me, this needs to come sooner.
Okay.
I think. How you do it, you'll have to have a think about, but to me, that needs to be further up.
Okay.
Because ultimately, this is the most crucial part. This above the fold content is crucial. This is what converts.
Right.
Yeah, that's what's got to convert, because people land and then they have less of an attention span than a goldfish, literally. Yes. So you got about
really need to get across what I do and what I sell, what it is immediately the second they come to the page.
Yes, you really do, and have something that converts them straight away. Sign up to get 15% off your first order. Well, where's the contact form?
They click on the image and then it takes them to a page where they can sign up.
Okay, I think you need a button then. Make it really clear, because that's not clear to me. It's like, well, where do I sign up? So maybe a button or something. These are just first thoughts, because I've only just looking at your site now. Okay, so I could look and think more about design, but it sounds like you've got all of that. It's just a few pointers to get you in the right direction. I want to take you now to the GT metrics results. I haven't tested that your contact forms work or anything like that because we're working on the fly through this live. But so this has been tested from Vancouver, Canada. So ideally, I probably need to log in and test closer to where your target market is. Is your target market Australia?
It's Australia.
Yeah, okay. So that would probably, I could log in and retest from Australia. Let's have a go at doing that now and see if it's any better. All right, page settings, is it going to let me? No. Why is it not letting me go in? Retest. Oh, no. User settings, that's what I want. I think. No. So here we go. So the default is Sydney. So let's hope that this time it will do Sydney now that I'm. All right, let's have a look. Just go back out and see if now that I'm officially logged in, it will test from where I want it to. No, wrong one. I'll just take that URL. Ooh. Pop it in. Is it this one or this one? This one. Okay. Right, so hopefully analysis options. Sydney, Australia. Okay. In theory, it should, yes, it is. Okay. That will give us a more representative result.
Okay.
And while that's doing its thing, I'll just check that we don't have any messages. Oh, we do. Oh, my goodness. I was so busy looking at the screen. So who have we got here? David Aguilera. Hey, I'm on WordPress. Awesome. Hello, Christopher Sheffield. Smile. We see you. I'd forgotten how I was so busy looking at the website. My daughter has just said, hi, awesome video. Harvey. I tell you, they get to that age and it gets a bit scary. She's about to turn 11 and she's now joining me on my lives. That's a first. That's hilarious.
Oh, that's sweet. She's a supporter.
Harvey, Ezekias, hello guys. Hey, Evelyn, Minnie Jones. Hey there, nice to have you join us. I love the design, Tonya. That's nice.
Oh, thanks.
Cool. Let's put that one up. We'll show that one. There we go.
Oh, awesome.
And I'm just going to quickly check and see if anybody's tuned in on our other screens. Oh, I'd forgotten that it was going to show this one now. Hey, let's have a look. My internet is so slow, it's driving me crazy. I've so got to change my provider. Right, so those are all the same. We've got those ones coming through. Sometimes StreamYard, which is what I'm using, sometimes it shows everything from the comment from the different platforms I'm streaming to, and sometimes it doesn't. It's a little bit hit and miss.
It's not too bad. I've seen worse.
Let's have a look. Wow, that's slow. I hope it's not my computer. That always worries me. If it's my computer dying, I'm in real trouble.
No.
Come on, where are you? That is so slow. No, that's not showing. Where is the live? It's not showing. Sorry, guys. It's just if there's other people saying something, I will miss it. What's that one? Here we go. All right, so we have no comments there. That's cool. That's probably all of them now. Cool. Okay, so let's have a look at those GT metrics results. Those with the Vancouver ones. I'm going to close that one down. Okay, so these are the ones from Australia. So unfortunately, not a huge difference. So we have a page speed score of 29%, and the average is 72. So that's not great.
Okay, so that just tells us it's super slow.
Correct, which you could tell anyway. And there could be some simple reasons. So we're going to have a look at the analysis, and I'll share the report with you afterwards as well, Tonya, so that
Great. I have no idea how to speed it up.
exactly what needs. So I can download it and send that to you. That's not a problem. So your Y slow is, it should be an average of 70, and it's 59. It's taking not, says average load time should be 6.3. So that's actually not too bad, but the performance I'm seeing is not that great. Now your page size is massive. It should be 3.28 megabytes, and it's 5.54. And you've got a lot more requests than you should be having from the servers. So that's not great. So your biggest issue is serving scaled images. And that is shame on the developer or builder or whoever's done it for that. So essentially what that means, the good news is there aren't too many of them to change, but essentially what they've done is they've just been lazy, and they've uploaded an image that's a lot bigger than the space that's required for the website. So code, the theme code, is then used to shrink it down.
Okay.
That slows down the server, and it really does impair performance, and you've got a grade of F there. So it's relatively easy to go into the back end of your site, generally through cPanel File Manager, and go in and find these images and replace them with ones that are resized to the correct size. So for example, you've got one here that's been loaded at 1706 by 929 pixels, which is
does it tell me which image that is or where it is?
Yes, yeah, it can all be found, and it should be 683 by 372. And it doesn't have to be precise, but it shouldn't be twice the size or more.
Okay.
So that's slowing things down. Then you've got this one here, blog magnesium chloride image, which is double the size it should be. So those things are simple enough to change and upload. You can either, it looks like these would actually be quite easy to find in the theme itself, in your media library, and then just find where they were originally uploaded and change them. But if not, there's another way that it can be done. So that's easy to fix, and will probably make quite a difference to your performance.
Okay.
Parsing of JavaScript, it depends what your setup is as to, so that's quite bad. Oh my goodness, look at all this. So you've got all this render blocking. It basically, without getting too technical, it slows your site down a lot.
Okay.
I would need to look at your setup. There's different ways that can be improved. There's a plugin called Swift Pro, which is a premium plugin. They had a special on not very long ago, and I got mine for $3, I think it was. It goes up after that. It's an annual fee, but it's not huge. And that would sort that out for you. Who's your host?
I can't remember at the moment.
Okay. If it comes to you, it would be quite helpful to know, because sometimes they have plugins that they load on the application. So you have server-side setup, and then you have application-side setup. And I'm thinking about a caching plugin and what you may already have there. It may just need tweaking with the settings, or it may be that you need to install a plugin at the website side of things. So that can be fixed. Optimized images, again, is a fail. So we've got a lot of images there that can be improved. So let's have a look. So they're talking about lossless compression. So it looks like these have not been compressed. They've not been optimized. So that's not a sizing thing. That's more making them smaller. basically. You compress the image, and lossless compression means you don't lose any quality by doing that. Again, that can be really easy to fix with a plugin, but again, I would like to see your setup before I recommend anything. So it'd be good to know who your host is and what plugins you've got installed on the site for that. Combining images using CSS sprites, that's a high priority. I don't know what they've done there, but they've uploaded images in a way that is, again, detrimental to performance.
I mean, I upload a lot of images, but I was never given like the size requirements for the blog or anything. So I just have to, I've just been putting them in and making them fit so that, because sometimes when I put an image in, it doesn't match the other previous images they had for the blogs. So I kept having to play with it until I got a size that worked.
Okay, all right. Well, this is one of the things, this is what I say with my challenge that I'm doing, my 30-day challenge. That's why I teach people how to build and maintain their site so that they're not doing this sort of thing. And what a lot of developers do is they then charge you for the privilege of changing your content or adding to your content. They don't educate you. And that's what they've done. They haven't told you the basics that you need to know in order to do this correctly. And that's a shame because it's simple enough. They should have loaded some form of plugin that compresses your images as you upload them and prevents you from uploading them at too big a size, basically. And yeah, they really should have had things set up so that this didn't happen, and they should have educated you as well, and they haven't done that, which is really disappointing. Okay, what have we got here? So Evelyn said that's probably why it's loading slow. Yes, it is big. You are right. Everything else is showing as okay, which is good.
Okay.
Which means that, because I see some results and you can tell that they've used a theme that's badly coded, and that's a much, much bigger job. So the good news is if most of it is to do with the images, it's easy enough to fix. So that's good. Let's have a look at your why. So, and here what you see, if it's red, then it's of high importance to get it right. Sorry, if it's red, it's below average. If it's green, it's good. And if it's orange like that, it's pretty much on what the average is for these things. So everything else is fine. And they always list the things that are the most important to fix first. Okay.
My hosting server is Cloudways.
Cloudways. Okay. Yeah, I use Cloudways. Anyone that's listened to my hosting stories, because I've been through so many of them, I'm still on the lookout for the perfect one, but I found a pretty good one. I loved Cloudways for a while because their pricing is really good. I don't know how much you're being charged, but your developer, pardon?
It's not a lot at the moment.
Not a lot. That's good. Because it's a pay-as-you-go service, which is really good. And their prices are very, very reasonable, and you're getting cloud hosting, so it should be blazingly fast. I guess to some extent it depends how many sites are being added to the one server, though, by your developer.
I'm supposed to have my own. It's supposed to be my own one, from what I'm told. Right? Yeah.
That's cool. I would just be wary of varnish issues. This is why I left Cloudways, because I couldn't use their server-side varnish settings because it broke all my sites, and varnish helps. Again, it just helps with performance and speed of your site. I had massive, massive problems and moved everything away from them because their support was so poor as well. They really didn't know what they were talking about. So even though their technology is good, their support was so bad that and they didn't fix my issues, which were their problem, that I moved away from them. But just watch out, if your site breaks or things start to work bizarrely, it's probably your varnish.
I have had actually a couple of times where the site's been down, or I've had a few issues. So. And
what have you done? Has the developer fixed that for you?
I just message him and say, "Can you fix it?" And he just fixes it. I use a developer at the moment who's in Pakistan. He's very good, but yeah, there's definitely no, like you were saying earlier, there's no education at all. Even when I ask for it, I say, how do I do this? And I don't even get a response. They're not interested in showing me how to do anything because they want to get paid to do everything.
Exactly.
Very
Which it should all be about customer service, and these people just don't get that. They think that if they keep you in the dark and they don't tell you anything, it gives them the power.
Yes.
But it just brings contempt, and then you leave. So because you get disillusioned with it. Okay, let's have a look at your why slow. So we have some other things here. So you're making a lot of HTTP requests, which means, okay. So you have, by the looks of things, no minification settings, which basically, because your code can all be, it's all quite spread out, and then you can actually compress it all, take all the spaces and unnecessary characters out and compress it all and combine it all. It looks, I'd love to know what your theme is, but I wonder how well coded it's been. This is something, again, that can be fixed with Swift Pro, the plugin, potentially, but I would need to see how he's built your site in order to comment more on that. But again, that can be fixed relatively easily as long as it's not to do with the way the theme, if they've used a poorly coded theme, or they've added a load of custom code or CSS, then that can affect performance if it's all over the place. So I would have to have a look in more detail to comment. Use a CDN. You could use Cloudflare potentially, but Cloudway should be fast enough. The only thing about using a CDN, it's a way of speeding things up without going into too much detail. The problem I found was trying to integrate Cloudways with Cloudflare was a nightmare, an absolute nightmare. They're not seamless like a lot of other hosts are. It's a free CDN. It can work really well. And basically what it does is it speeds up delivery of the information no matter where you are in the world.
Right.
And it can have some really positive performance consequences if it's done correctly, but I just found I had more problems than I had improvements when I tried to hook up the site because I added one through Cloudflare, which is the CDN, the content delivery network with Cloudways, and I just had so many hidden issues. It was horrible. So with a lot, it's just a click of a button, but not with them. So you could ask your developer about that.
Okay. Whether
he can connect that up. And you can show him this report too, and you can say, hey, these things need sorting out.
Okay.
And really, if he's built the site, he should be fixing this. But
the site was originally built by another company here in Perth. They were the shockers. And then I've had to go with someone else to get a lot of the fixing done. So that's why I was going with him. So I haven't had the best experience with developers.
No, but my worry is, he's going to keep charging you more and more for these.
I know, yeah.
Talk to him because he's involved, and let me know how much he charges you so that I can just give you a second opinion on that.
Okay.
So again, this is minification. So this is your JavaScripts that need minifying. They just need compressing and organizing so that they're in the right place. So they might be moving from the header to the footer instead. Similarly here, we've got a few bits and pieces that really need fixing up. Sometimes you can't. Some of these are external sites or plugins where you can't fix them up, but these actually, this is a theme issue. This is plugins, theme plugin. So yeah, it is possible to fix those, and then inline scripts. Okay, so that can all be minified and should be able to fix all that up with Swift Pro. DNS lookups. The components are split over more than 4 domains. So I'd ask him about that as well. Everything else is fine. Let's have a look at your waterfall. This shows us what's taking the most time to load, basically. Style min. Is it? Where is it? 1.62. Lock-in. DNS lookup. So these are DNS issues. So you might need to look at, I don't know what's happening with your DNS settings. I don't know whether maybe they're not correctly entered. Your records, you know, with your, I don't know where your DNS is. Is your DNS with Cloudways, do you know?
I don't know what DNS is. Sorry.
Sorry, your domain name servers, your name servers. So when you create a domain from your registry, you usually have your DNS, everything is there. But often you can move your name servers so that they're actually, that whole part of the domain is somewhere else, often with the host. So
my developer may have done that, but if he did, he would not have filled me in, I don't believe. Okay. Or yeah, he could have. I would imagine he would have told me, but I don't recall him mentioning anything about it.
Yeah, I don't know enough about that in this situation to comment, but I would be asking him because that's a reasonable amount of time. See, this is 1.62 second delay happening there. These are all milliseconds, so there's nothing there that's jumping out as being too worrying.
And these show each page. Is that what this is?
No, these are the elements that are basically slowing down your site. It shows with every element that's loading, it's showing you how long it takes to load. So you can see 1.62 seconds, whereas these are milliseconds. So that's quite significant. Let's have a look. So 1.87 seconds it's taking for this image. So that image is probably too big or poorly sized. Oh, hi, Jeff. Jeff Shaffert's just joined us. Welcome. Yes, so that's easy to fix. If you go through and you optimize your images, then that one will no longer slow your site down. You can just see there 1.87 seconds just for a single.
That's got to be my homepage image. It has to be.
Probably. Vegan shopping ad, Natural Society. But if you go through that list anyway, on the front page of the GT metrics reports, it will show you what you need to fix. Now, what have we got here? So we've got a GIF that's a 404. That means that it's trying to load something that doesn't exist. So you need to find that one. And you need to load something that actually exists.
Okay. So
you've got a GIF file there. And then this is a WAF. This looks like you've tried to upload a, that's a font normally, a .waf file. So you've got a font there that's not actually loaded. And so the website's trying to load something that doesn't exist, and it's spending a lot of time doing that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then you've got, not sure what that is. Don't know what that one is. Something to do, don't know. Try and click on it and see if we can get a little bit more information. Okay, so this is something to do with your shopping cart and the widgets that you're using.
Okay.
But I have no idea. I couldn't advise you on that. But there is something there. I'm just not entirely sure. Cart customization. It's a WooCommerce issue, but I don't know exactly what that is.
Okay.
You can't always fix everything, but if you can fix more than you don't fix, then you're going to have a much better performing site. So what's this one? You've got another Ajax issue there, which it potentially could be a plugin that's causing that problem. I don't know exactly without a lot of investigation. You've got a font there. It looks like a font has been uploaded. Normally, what you do is you download a font file and then you install it, but someone's tried to upload the file as a TTF as opposed to implementing the, I don't know. I've just never seen that before. It's just a little odd. It's not been integrated into the theme anyway. It's like someone's just tried to go into the media library, say, and upload a font there, which you can't do. Does that sound like something that could have happened?
Yeah, with the original developers, definitely.
Right, okay. So I'd be looking in your, yeah, that's weird. That's super weird. That's not how fonts are installed. At all. You normally double click on the font and install it into your system and then use fonts that way, or you use Google fonts, or anyway, they've tried to install fonts that are probably not Google fonts and they haven't installed them correctly at all. And it's a bit of a detective's game there to try and a bit of an exercise to find where that is. I maybe check your media library and make sure that it hasn't been uploaded there.
Okay.
That would be a really weird thing to do, though.
Mm.
All right, let's have a look. So that's pretty much it. So if you can optimize your images, you're going to speed up your site, essentially.
Okay.
That's probably all that we need. You've got enough there to ask you to develop it if you need to. But I would try and optimize your images yourself if you can. Go back into them and just follow the information that it's got there and just re-upload them at the right size. Do you know how to optimize images for size? Because there's lots of online tools for doing that.
I'll definitely be able to figure it out. Definitely.
Okay. Cool, yeah. Bananas. Okay. So that's basically GT metrics. I haven't done an SEO analysis, but
can we do one? My SEO would be shocking.
Yeah, that's something that you can improve by installing Yoast, for example. You can go back in there.
I've got Yoast on there. Yeah, my developer.
Okay, and you've been following that with your blog?
I just had it installed not that long ago, and I've literally done nothing with it just because I literally graduate from university tomorrow. So as soon as I'm done, the site is like, I'm all over it. So
let me just I'm just going to take this share out if I can. Just bring us back. There we go. All right. So what you're graduating in? Did you?
My BA, so my business degree.
Oh, cool. I wish I'd done business studies. I did law, of all things, and worked as a lawyer for a while, but it doesn't help you in the business world so much. Oh, that's awesome. That's a smart choice, definitely. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to see if we've got any more comments. Any other questions that you have?
No, you covered more than I imagined. So that's great. That report will be extremely helpful. And yeah, optimizing those images, that's going to be my #1 focus. Okay. So,
and as I say, if you want to run anything by me, price-wise, or any-wise, to make sure that he's doing the right thing for you, then I think that would be very much worthwhile doing. Just checking that we have no other comments here. I don't think we do. I think that's all of them. All right. Okay. So if that's all your comment, if no one's got any other comments, and then we'll probably leave it there. We've got some things to work on. Thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate it. And I'll download that GT metrics report for you as well, so that you can have a good look through that.
Great. Beautiful.
Yeah. Lovely to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you as well.
So what I'll do now, Tanya, is I'll just end the broadcast and then we can just chat for a little bit if you want to.
Sure.
All right. So I'll say goodbye to everyone, and I look forward to tuning in on Monday US time, about 8 p.m. Central Time, I believe. Super excited to have Laura Wright, who is a social media expert. joining me to talk about some really cool stuff. I'm going to write a post in the next day or two just introducing Laura. So I really hope you guys can tune in for that. Until then, have a great rest of the weekend. See ya. Bye.